always remember CIA. When you talk about the information risk, the first thing you always have to mention, since this is the objective. 7 domains of the infrastructure. Although there are different classification of that, but it is one of the effective way for us to classify different risks in different areas. And therefore, you have to understand, okay, in the, say for example, user domain, the key problem is the users, they may not follow your policy. You set the policy, but they don't follow that. Like the password policy, they always write it down and stick it at the back of the keyboard, things like that. You have to understand in different domain what are the key problems and what are the key measures. In IRM, as simple as that, 7 domains. Each of the domain, they have their problems. Why they have those problems, because in those domains, you have the vulnerability. The vulnerability meaning the weakness in the control. And then you have the vulnerability, you have the threat, and then you understand the control, how they can contribute to minimize the vulnerability or minimize the probability of the happening, and then how you are going to implement across different domains so that they make it effective. And remember, some of the controls, some of the threats, they are not just appearing in a single domain. Say, for example, virus, USB stuff, they appear in the user domain system, user behavior. The user behavior of, they serve some prompt website, harmful website, things like that. And then on the workstation domain side, because you don't have a proper web browsing policy implemented in the system, you don't have an antivirus, anti-malware system installed in your workstation, and therefore you have the problem. Those, when you look at the threat and also look at the vulnerability, it can appear in different domains. And therefore, when you think of something, when you think of some of the risks, some of the problem, potential issue, you can relate to different areas. You can, as long as you can demonstrate to me like that, then you're fine. Therefore, I'm not going to go into the details since it is quite long. And also, there are so many different types of controls. Some of them are technology-based, some of them are procedural-based. Unless you are facing a question asking you, you must tell me some technology-based question. Otherwise, don't try to attempt to show your witness to me. I know many of you are not having a very good IT background. Like in the presentation, I can see some of them. You are not a very good IT professional, and then you're trying to relay some of the controls that is not relevant at all. And if you demonstrate that once again in your examination, then you are showing your witness to me. Remember, unless I'm asking you for technology-based, but normally I will not do such silly things. I'm not teaching a IT security class, and therefore normally I will do that. Do something that more familiar to yourself. Say, for example, I am segregation of duty. I am the IT guy, I am the programmer, I should not be able to touch the production platform. Otherwise, I can modify the code, modify the database, and then do something beneficial to myself. This is simple. I can have to separate when you're giving me the examples, to give me something that you are familiar with. Don't give me something that you can only rely on your dissertation, you just recite everything. That doesn't happen.